What's up? How are you doing?
Hey, what's up?
You know,
How you doing?
how you doing? I'm good. I'm good. I have a question for you. Are
Preguntas.
you a confrontational person? Like, do you feel like you're a confrontational person?
If I have to be, but I would. If I have to be, I am. But I'm not. I don't look for it. I don't indulge. I don't look for it. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I'm kind of passive aggressive.
that's confrontational in a way though. Kind of.
Passive
Like,
aggressive.
yeah, because it's like, the whole premise of like being passive aggressive is like you have an attitude, but you're just kind of being flippant and letting it go, like that's
Yeah,
just how
because
I
I
feel.
don't want confrontation. So I don't. You can see
But
it in my
why?
face, but then
But
like
why? Like
because I
why don't you want confrontation?
if it escalates, I'm gonna hurt somebody.
Mm.
I think about that part because it's happened before, and that's the part I don't like.
But I mean, were you younger or do you think you would be violent at this? Like, would you be violent or are you just saying like you would say hurtful
I'm
things?
worried. I don't know what the other person is gonna do to provoke me to get there.
Mm.
I'm more
Okay.
worried about that part because when I get angry, I don't think, and I start breaking things.
Yikes.
So
Yikes.
who's
That's
ever in the way of my thrusts, then it's not my fault, but it
okay,
is
but
my fault.
okay, so are you talking about like just a stranger or are you talking about somebody you have a like relationship with? That's more than yeah, would you take it would things escalate with somebody you love like that? Or or is that just how you would deal with a stranger? Because I feel like confrontation with people or like if you have problems with people, you handle people differently. Like if it was a stranger, if it was a loved one, or if it was a friend, or if it was a non-factor of a person.
Yeah, if it was a stranger, I'd knock them out, or at least I'd try to knock them out. But if it's like if you provoke me, I would probably probably just slap you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Oh, you
kidding.
saying me?
Yeah.
I thought you were just saying in general.
No, I said if it was a stranger, I'd knock him out. But if it was you, I'd slap. But I was just kidding.
but
But if it was like you, yeah, I'd be like, if it
but why do
was,
people
I
go
would talk it out. Obviously,
right?
obviously, but I would talk it
But
out.
I feel like you're probably like a lot of people. Like, why do people resort to violence like off top? Like the big catchphrase right now is, or well, maybe a few months ago, it was like, oh, you woke up and chose violence. Like why do
Never
you
heard that.
use really? Oh, it's all over the internet. But why do you resort to anger or like make it physical? Why do you want to get physical with somebody? I don't feel like that would ever resolve anything.
I disagree because it would shut you up if
But
I
that
knocked
doesn't,
you out.
but then that means it's over. Like the
Yeah, then
friendship,
oh, you're talking about if it's a friend.
yeah.
If it's a
Like,
friend, then no, I'm not doing anything violent. I don't think so. I don't. I mean, unless you take it there and you're like trying to choke me or come after me, then yeah, we're going to fight. But if it's somebody I know,
well,
like
that's different.
I'm not going that route.
That's self-defense though. Like what
Yeah,
you're, I
I don't
mean,
have to. Like I've been in yeah, situations where it could have gone there, and either I'll walk away or I'll be like, you don't want to, people, you don't want to go there, or let's calm down. Let's, what I'm saying, like, and I have fought friends, if you do because they want to take it there, so let's go.
But when you were younger or now?
Yeah, but
Like,
I was younger.
okay. Well, see, I feel
But
like that's
it don't.
different
Yeah, it's different.
because like now at 40 plus years old, like fighting, like, okay, self-defense is one thing. Like if I'm attacked, of course you would defend yourself. But to like, if you have an issue with somebody and you want to resolve it, like I feel like it should be handled more diplomatically than going to war. But I mean, I know a lot of people that are of our, over 30, 35 that do resort to violence to like handle a resolution. But I don't think that's gonna handle anything. You know what I mean?
It just it depends. It depends to me because like some people need to be spanked because they've never been spanked before, and it's probably better to be spanked by somebody you know rather than a stranger because you could always like learn from that and talk it out later.
Yeah, but no, at this big age, like if somebody hits me,
Yeah.
like I mean, no, if somebody hits me, like it's a wrap for them.
I know, but
But
there's some like stories you've been telling me about your friends. I'm thinking like sometimes they need to just be punched in their face because they don't get it.
they
I'm like,
still won't get it. I
I
mean,
don't know that.
yes, but punching somebody in their face,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to change their behavior.
Or a
I
good
don't,
gut or a good gut one.
right. Like,
A
I don't
good gut.
think getting physical with somebody is going to change their behavior. It's going to make them worse. It's not going to resolve the
I don't believe it.
conflict. It's not going to resolve the conflict.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, well, I do. But it doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay.
Like, I'll tell you right now, if you and I ever got into a physical altercation, but I don't know, it wouldn't go to that. Like, it takes a lot to get me mad. It takes a whole lot to get me.
There would be nothing you could say to make me
Yeah, exactly. I
punch you
was
in
like,
your face.
yeah, exactly. I
I
was
just
like,
won't talk to you no more.
yeah, exactly. I was like,
if you, if
if
you insulted me or even took my money or shot my sister or something,
oh my God, no, that's bad.
I don't. There.
If somebody shot the family member, yeah, you would definitely have to like, you know,
Okay,
eh,
maybe I would shoot you, but like
yeah, that would be it.
if you don't do anything like that, then there's no way I would resort to violence towards you. That's just insane.
Yeah. Like I'm definitely a person that comes from a place of peace at all times, and I feel like that's the best way to handle or resolve like any issue between friends. Like if somebody's your friend, like I feel like there's different levels. Like I said, like fucking with a friend, a stranger, and like family. I feel like you would handle all of those relationships differently
Absolutely.
because you want it to last. Well, with some, depending on the person, like we should break it down.
Well, let's
Like
say you meet somebody like a stranger, and you guys are cool. You guys been cool for like 6 months, but it's still like an
still a
acquaintance.
stranger.
But you guys are
Yeah.
vibing out. Maybe you guys relate over the metaverse or something, right? And you guys are hella cool, and then for some reason they did something wrong to you, whatever. Your conflict resolution is to have a conversation, but then they get then they turn into a whole different person. And I mean, what do you do then? You just talk it out because you want the peace, or if they like took your money, or like let's say you guys invested in something and they totally took your money, and it's like, what do you? Sometimes those people need a punch in the face.
Okay, well, you
And
said
I
a
don't
couple,
know you, and
right? I
you
don't
know what
know
I
you
mean. I
for
just
real,
want my
for
money.
real. Yeah,
I was I
yeah.
just I just I just watched the documentary about weed, and these two guys they didn't know each other at all, and they went, but they had money, and they had and they what do you call it? They got cool, over investments and money talk and stuff. So they invested in the weed company, and it didn't go. And now they're like, they're not fighting, but they're like in the court trying to see, somebody pay the other person out or whatever. And I'm just like, that sounds like a hassle to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, if it's big money, if we're talking like tens of thousands of dollars, yeah, I would probably go a legal route.
Those send some goons to the house.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not gonna necessarily get you your money back.
I mean, I could go, well, depends on what you do with the goons.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I just don't think violence with associates is, well, I don't know, because somebody did owe me money and I did see them. I ran into them and I was highly upset.
Here we go.
But it
And
didn't.
you kind of threaten them, and you're kind of forceful and you're angry, and you showed it. And then what did they do?
Nothing, they just walked away. Well,
I think
ran away, kind of. But
so now they avoid you every time.
But I definitely regret that moment, because it could have escalated and got me into some sticky situations. Like, I mean, the police were in the grocery store. They were right there. Security guards were in the grocery store. There was people around that I didn't necessarily wanted to see me out of character like that.
But you're in your feelings like Drake.
Yeah, like you do. Like when people owe you money like that, it does hurt. You know what I mean? It's
because they betrayed your trust.
Yeah, especially if you really was like gave them everything, and they still did you dirty. It sucks. Yeah, it does.
Well, that's your character though, like, right? Like you have to like kind of realize that you can give and give will still take and never give back. Like you kind of have to do things out of the kindness of your heart and your character, and not even kind of like not just realize that people aren't like you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's on you trusting that person. But you
Right.
have to take accountability and responsibility of you trusting that person, and then that person being a liar. And now you can't fuck with that person. I mean, I deal with people like that all the time, and some people I don't fuck with anymore, and some people I after paying me back, I have to forgive them, or I don't have to, but I chose to forgive them because just out of the kindness of my heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like getting angry. I feel like that's outside of my character. And like, I mean, I got my money back, but later, like years later.
Yeah, me too. It took. I had somebody owed me money for 10 years.
But I rather, 10 years. Yeah, but I rather would have had that friendship. Like, but it goes
really
back
with that kind of a person though. Now that you know their true.
No, now that I know who they were, no, absolutely not. Like, I don't want anything to do with them. But I wish things didn't have to get to that point. But of course not. But in situations, I think when people violate or disrespect you or just breaks codes, like there is no like working it out. There is no conflict resolution. I mean, I feel like people should remain civil, especially when you have a good handle on your emotional intelligence. Then, you shouldn't even, it's just, that's how life is. And, you're going to come across some snakes, but
I feel like the mafia tactic is more appropriate, because it's like, if you owe me money, let's say you owe me $1,000, and I gave you a day, I gave you a week to give it to me because you said you had it. You don't give it to me on the end of that week.
You busted some kneecaps.
No, I break a finger.
Oh, you break a finger.
You're going to be more adamant about giving me my $1,000. So I gave you 2 days to give me that. Now it's like 1,500 because
you do know this is assault. You do know this is assault.
Are you going? How are you going? You going to tell me? I didn't. You have no evidence.
I mean, people. Hey, trust me, people will flip it around on you. People
How?
will flip it around on you
Okay.
because they have evidence. They might have you on camera breaking their finger, even though they deserved a broken finger.
Well, then that's on me. Then that's on me. Then yes, I agree. I agree.
Like it's still people like you gotta watch. You gotta. That's what I'm saying. Especially if you have assets. Like there's people out here that will do you dirty, and then you retaliate, and then they're just gonna they're gonna flip it on you. Yeah. They're gonna put a restraining order on you. They're gonna sue you. They're gonna sue you for your assets, whatever.
But you can get a restraining order on anybody. I can get a restraining order on you just for talking to me. I don't want Stacey been talking to me too much. Restraining order.
Yeah. Somebody tried to put a restraining order on me because I asked them, like, why did they do me dirty? And that was it. They were like, never contact me again.
So it don't matter if I break a finger or I talk down to them.
What do you mean?
Is it with a restraining order? It doesn't matter what I do. You have but if it was for the violence, you have no evidence of that. You just want to put a restraining order because you say that I broke your finger.
Yeah, but I mean, if they have evidence, all I'm saying is
you don't need evidence to have a restraining order. Right? You just say, like, this guy has bad breath. I need a restraining order on his halitosis.
Right.
I don't know. 15 feet away from me. You can't talk to me because his breath is bad.
Right. I've never ran to, I've never been in a situation where I had to put a restraining order. Well, I take that back. That was a stalker person who I should have put a restraining order on. But like when I got hit with a couple people that I had to approach about money or, why they did me dirty, the first thing those people do is they threaten you with harassment and they threaten you with restraining orders. And I didn't even make any threats. I just asked, like, where's my money? What are you gonna pay me? And then they'll like, they're dirty. Like, people are dirty.
Yeah, so they need a spanking. That's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't do anything. Cause I don't know. I guess like with everything, I'm definitely guided by being Christ-like.
And the Christ wasn't violent in the Bible. There wasn't violence in the Bible.
There was, but not God. Jesus, he was a person of peace. Like it was, turn the other cheek. It was, don't like, basically violence begets violence. And
then what's the plague thing and giving people diseases? And what's that thing where he did with the guy that proved his loyalty? Remember that story?
Job?
Mm-hmm. He made him go through all that. That's not violent?
I mean, that was
you killed a bunch of people to prove a point?
That was,
and then you only can worship me?
I don't know. The number one commandment that Jesus gave, which is the New Testament, the New Covenant, was to love others as you love yourself. It wasn't shoot them because they did you wrong. Like, and I mean, let's forget about the Bible. Let's just think of all the universal laws. Like, if you reap what you sow. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. Like,
but how many criminals get away?
Karma.
How many criminals get away with?
They get away with everything.
Yeah.
But you have to, like, well, that's where my faith comes in. Like, I believe that all those people that have done me dirty here on earth, that they'll either change or they'll get what's coming to them through another person or another situation, but it's not going to be through me.
I believe in karma too.
At this point in my life. But I also don't think karma works in the way that people think that it works. Like, you can't wish bad upon people. And because that that energy is just going to you. Like they're not going to feel that energy. Like I mean, but if people rob somebody and then okay, they keep robbing, they're going to eventually get their due, you know. They're going to get caught, they're going to get shot, they're going to go to jail, they're going to whatever. But say somebody robs you somebody and then they felt bad and they'll never do it again or whatever. I don't think like that karma would necessarily come on them. And I don't think we can wish bad things onto people. I mean, I guess people do try to do that with spells and all that stuff, but I don't know. Like this is going way too far.
I believe in karma, but I don't think I will probably, well, I don't think I'll see it. I just believe in it. I believe it'll happen. But I also believe there's
But people change.
I believe there's a rapist out there who raped like 10 women and died, never having to go to jail. And they probably lived a full life. I believe that too. I believe shit happens, and I believe sometimes shit doesn't happen. But I wish it did happen. We could say like that, maybe if they like the rapist situation, maybe his when he had kids, maybe his kids had Down syndrome or something like that, or had some deformity or died early, like his, you know what I mean? But we'll never know, we just know that this person raped 10 women.
Yeah, right.
And never went to jail for it. You know what I mean? I believe that happens. But in my mind,
well, I mean, look at Trump.
I think that people who say what?
I would say, look at like Trump. Like, there's so many people who do like terrible, horrible things, and they never. I mean, I won't say never. Yet. Yeah, exactly. Like things happen. Like I think no, everything done in the dark comes to light, and eventually people get their due.
I don't think everything though. I think people get away with things. I'm just saying. What I'm saying, I believe in karma.
If they change,
I believe in karma, and if they change, they still can't reap what they did back before. They still have to, because they changed, they get nullified.
Possibly.
Or exempt of what they did in the past. I robbed the bank. I killed somebody. I punched somebody in the face.
I don't know. I think honestly it's possible, but I think there's consequences for every action. And like that came to my mind. Like say a gang member was very active as a young dude, and he did his dirt or whatever, and then as he got older, he changed his ways. He was no longer about that life, and then he got caught slipping, and somebody recognized him in the wrong hood or whatever, or saw his tattoos and retaliated. So let's take
like Jay-Z. Jay-Z was heavy in the drug game, right? Anybody in the drug who's a rapper now and changed their life sell drugs. Do you know what the other side of those drugs looks like? The
addicted people,
the addiction, the unhealthiness, them robbing just to get those drugs from Jay-Z's hand. Now Jay-Z's older, obviously he's not hustling like that, but where's his karma?
Who knows? But that's why
how many lives did he destroy because he was peddling those drugs?
Right, but like
it's not his fault. He supplied it. Those people chose to buy it, but he supplied it.
Right, but that's why I wonder. Like sometimes
he was part of that cycle. So like, where's his retribution?
It might be on its way, but I do feel like there's redemptive situations where when you like repent or I don't know. I just think
he just gets exempt from all them lives he destroyed.
Like you said, it was free will on those people too. But I'm not, but he's still alive. We'll see. Maybe things happen to him that we don't know about personally. He might be struggling with whatever that, like everybody has their struggles, but I do believe that it could be either or. You will get due for your consequences, or you might, get off their,
Yeah.
redemption.
I think it's 50-50 too. I'm not saying that's all the time. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
exactly. I
I
don't
think it
know.
just shit happens. Some people are smooth criminals and never get caught.
But that's
I've done
rare. But
some
that's
stuff.
super rare.
I've
That's
done some
super
stuff
rare.
that I regret, and I think I'm probably paying for it right now. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but it might not look like it if I don't talk about it. You know what I mean? But
But yeah, but you'll, yeah, I don't know. Things will change.
I
Things get
believe in
better.
karma. I believe in
Yeah.
karma, and if you do stuff, it'll come
But
back
you
to
just have
you.
to keep, yeah, but you just got
But
to keep going, and you have to take your lumps as they come. Like whatever you did, your consequences will come. But the good thing, like my faith tells me that, God will change that situation for you. Like, or the universe, whatever people want to believe. Like you might have done dirty, but things will happen to you, but it'll be okay. You'll get through it, you know?
mhm. So if
And
I do dirt back in my early 20s, and I just talk to Jesus, that's my pension, and I'm forgiven for that stuff that I did earlier. Really, really, anything.
yeah, if
I'm
you
in the
repent,
clear.
if you change, this is what I believe. If you repent and if you change your heart, then I mean, of course, yeah, you're forgiven, but you might come across somebody who, I don't know, if you did somebody dirty or whatever, they might see you later. That might have something to say to you or do to you or whatever. I don't know.
But I prayed to God. I
Yeah,
prayed
he
on it.
yeah, he might protect you from it. He might give you grace. He might give you mercy, but you might also get off. Who knows? I don't know.
But I prayed to God.
But it doesn't work like that though.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought that's what you just said.
No, I mean, like you said, like you just said, like it's 50-50. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. It's free will. Like you do not know exactly
Okay,
what's going to happen.
so if I prayed to God and nothing happened, oh, okay, good. That's God worked. But if I pray to God and I get offed, that means
It's
it
God's
didn't work.
will. No, it means it's God's will. I
So
mean,
what's the point of praying?
prayer
It's a
doesn't,
50-50.
it's free will. We are living in free will. Like that's what you have to understand. Like whatever you decide to do it may have repercussions and it may not.
It just sounds like chance, and then you're like, oh, I prayed on it and everything's good. And then like if something bad happens, it's like, oh, but I prayed on it. What happened? Oh, now
Well,
I'm
then you're
disillusioned.
learning. No, you're learning from it. You would learn from it, hopefully, and then it would correct you to get on the right path
I learn
to.
from it without praying. You just learn through life experiences. Like as you get older, fighting is not the way. Talking bad and having bad energy and people around you and negative thoughts or whatever. It's not the way. It's that you just grow out of it, right? And you change. Hopefully you change as you get older, and then you correct your life. I'm who hasn't done stupid stuff in their
Yeah, but if people don't
teens
have,
and 20s.
right, but if people don't have like any type of moral compass or guide, then they're really just on their own. And
Yeah,
I
and then you
don't.
learn that that's bad. Like for me, I'm not religious whatsoever, but I know like stealing is bad. I know like hurting people or talking to people in a certain way is bad. And I know that. It's not about having a guide. It's about just living life and not having it done to you. Like I know, like I don't like being talked down like that. So why would I do it to somebody else? I know how it feels. I'm
Right.
saying
Well,
I have
that's your
empathy.
guide. That's your
Empathy.
guide.
Yeah.
Well, that's your guide then. Like that's your
Sure.
guide, and I have my guide.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's still a guide, however you look at it.
Well, I'm not
Like,
talking about your kind of guide though. I'm talking about people can have their own guide. They don't need invisible guy in the sky to be their guide. You can also learn from just living life. You know what I'm saying? Like you know that you don't want that done to you, so don't do it to other people because you know how it feels. You have empathy for those people.
Right.
That's why,
Well,
you know what I
however, but
mean?
I'm just
People have been
saying,
hungry. You give food to homeless people because you've been hungry before.
right. But however people get their guide or moral
More
compass,
compass, yeah.
that's I'm just saying that's how you do it. That's how I do it. And people need that.
Yeah, it don't matter how you get it as long as you got it.
Right. But if you don't reflect on your life and where you're at in life, or if you don't learn, like, I don't know, I just feel like a
Yeah,
lot of
what was
people
you
do
doing?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't
A
learn.
lot of
Like a
people
lot of
don't. They
people,
don't.
they don't self-reflect. They don't
They don't take that time.
change.
Mm-mm.
So
And
like
those
it
people
takes,
need to be punched in the face.
yeah, I don't know. That's I don't know. I just don't resort to violence because it's too risky. It's too
That's the last
risky.
resort. I'm not saying I would. I'm quick to do that. I'm just saying
Yeah,
there's a
because like,
point where some people just need to be slapped.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only time I think somebody needs to be slapped is in self-defense. Like if somebody comes to at me, then yeah, then maybe. But I'm
Well, there
not.
should be more than slap. They coming at you. You better throw them both.
Well, yeah, whatever needs to. It just wouldn't be a good situation for that person. Put it like that. But I'm just saying, in like, I guess the point here is, how do you positively resolve conflict
With who?
with a friend?
You talk it out. If they don't change or if they don't give you your money, then you just
But there's
cut them
more.
out.
Okay, let's not go all the way there. Like there's arguments with your friends, right? Like how do you, I mean, it could just be a simple argument,
Yeah,
or
it
or
depends
you
on
guys
what the
just,
argument's about. Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna knock them out for that.
No, of course not. No, you said friend though. I would never fight a friend unless they coming at me with the, with violence. Then yeah, we're gonna, we're gonna scrap. But if it's a stranger, I'm probably more quicker to scrap because I don't know you. I don't care about the repercussions. I'm going to kill you. But if it's a friend, then yeah, we are going to talk it out. We're going to work it out. If you're not into it, working it out through words, then we have to stop being cool. We're not going to be cool anymore,
Right.
regardless of the argument or debate or whatever. And you're willing to, you know, put our friendship on the line over it, then bye. You're not good for my life, right? You're not a good fit then, and friends, just like relationships, you sometimes you grow out of each other. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because I had a bunch of friends in my 20s and 30s and they're all gone. Where are they? We just grew out of each other. No
Right.
hard feelings.
Yeah, and I definitely think that just because you've been friends with somebody for decades or whatever, you shouldn't just keep them around
If they're bad
yeah,
for you,
like
yeah, I
exactly.
agree.
Like I don't know. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. Do you ever say sorry to people? Like if you get into a situation with a friend, like are
Man,
you the first to be the big person or the bigger person to like bring up the situation?
I don't know if
Or
I don't know if I brought this up on this pod, but I did go on an apology tour in 2018 to 2020. Only because not because I had so many I had to apologize for, but because some people I just couldn't find. But yeah, I was the bigger person there, and I was like, maybe because I feel low and my calm and my energy is low. Maybe it's because I have some bad, juju around me. So let me apologize sincerely to people I have wronged. So I called or DM'd or, whatever, instant messaged people, women and friends on and apologize for me being a dick or an asshole during that time. And I would probably say 99% of them accepted it, and we talked about it, and they got things off their chest, and I got things off mine, and it was good. And it was good for me. It was good. I think it was good for both parties. So yes,
So
I
did
have
it,
been the bigger. I made the step because I'm the one who moved. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure maybe they didn't even think about it, because a few of them didn't even think about it. They didn't like, oh man, don't worry about it. And I was like, well, I'm just letting you know
did
that
they
I feel
remember?
something. Yeah, of course.
They remembered the situation?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them I had to like bring up. One particular I had to bring up because he brought up something else. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I apologize for that too.
Damn.
But I was bringing up this thing. He was like, no, nigga, you did this. I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh my
Well, we all
gosh.
did that. Well, it was like a big, pretty good discussion. But
Right.
everybody was cool. Everybody, some people just probably never
So
think about it because it was so long ago. But for me, it obviously still lingered in my heart and my mind. So it was good for everybody.
right. But more so for you to like just release and to forgive, or I
Or
guess
forgive me
get,
and then
yeah, get
forgive and
forgiveness.
then get it
Yeah.
for them, and even accepting if they said no. I'm saying I would have been like, cool, I'm just saying for me, you got to understand how old we were, and they all said the same thing too. We were all young, you know.
Because I think that's what a lot of like conflicts that happen with people comes down to a misunderstanding. Like I think a lot of it are like you have to have patience with people. And if you really like care for that person or you love that person, then you would take the time to, you like now that I'm older, like I feel like I could see how like a lot of the conflicts that not many, but the ones that were big in my life, um, I had to step back. Like now looking back, like I have to step back, and a lot of it came down to a misunderstanding, ego, my own ego in the situation of how I wanted somebody to be. Um, or yeah, like I don't know, it was just like a misunderstanding or like ego stuff.
I think
And you
more
have to have patience. You have to have patience with people.
mine was more about ego.
And so I think that's a lot of people though. Like you feel like, oh, don't do that to me. Why would they do that
Of
to me?
course, of
You know?
course.
But it's not a lot of the stuff that people are going through, it may not even be about you, or you took it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I think we need to, as people, just really take ourselves out of the situation sometimes and just give it some time to breathe and just, see what happens. And if it's meant to be, or if, then you guys will come back and you guys will talk about it, or you'll just work through it, or I don't know. But I don't think it's good to let things go. It's not good to let things go. I think everything should be addressed, or it's going to come up later. And
Or it doesn't come out at all, and you guys die without any resolution.
right. And
That
a lot
happens
of,
too.
yeah. And that's I don't know, at the thing, like being older, being this at this big age of in my 40s, I feel like you have to like, I don't know, you just have to figure out what you want, if that person's worth it. I don't know.
You don't know.
So
So your conflict resolution is to talk it out in
yeah,
any peaceful manner with
I
friends.
mean, yes, with
Yeah.
friends,
What do you do with strangers?
but I think I don't. waste my time. I
You
choose
know,
my
it was
battles.
time arguing.
No, for what?
Oh, okay.
Why? Like, I mean, I just believe to pick my battles. Like, if I were to fight, I could be in a fight every day if I wanted to. But why? Like,
Everybody,
what's
everybody could. Yeah.
yeah, like why? But why would you want to?
It'd be
Like,
like
that's
that Fight Club scene.
you'll never see those people ever again.
Yeah.
Like road rage situations, or if you're
Well,
in the
those are the
club
worst. Yeah.
and somebody steps on your shoe and you know they want to get all big and bad, or I don't know, whatever the situation. Like I give strangers no energy. I'll never see them again.
Yeah, it is kind of like a waste of time because you could talk all the shit like I was just doing, but you get knocked out and you wake up in the hospital, you're like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have talked shit. You wake up
Yeah,
in the side of your car, like
right.
just they put you inside your car, like laying on your car. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't
Right.
maybe I shouldn't say what I said.
Yeah. But like that's just me. I know I'm a different situation, a different breed for sure. But
No, the safest way is to talk it out. If they can't, walk away. Like I
well,
was,
strangers, I wouldn't even talk anything out. Like there's
or you
nothing
could
to
talk
talk.
shit too, talk shit back, and then bounce or whatever. Like if it escalates, then I don't know. I guess you gotta, you know, show them hands. But like, I think it's all ego. Yeah, you know,
It's
I've seen
definitely
people.
ego.
I've seen like my dad talk shit to people and get away with it because of, well, probably because of his stature, but like he was ready to go, and that just made me feel like I think it's important to stick up for yourself and not be walked over, especially by a stranger talking shit. And
But why?
I've
You'll
lived
never
by
see them again.
that
Never ever again.
because you know why?
Why?
Because that, at least for me, that person talking shit will linger in my mind because I didn't say anything. I let it go. And and that kills me. I hate regret. Regret is like a drill in my stomach. Like zzz, like every time. Like I'll be like, I get home and be like, damn, I should have said this instead of just saying, well, you too. You know what I mean? I should have said yada yada yada, you fat piece of shit, or some derogatory because they said something that was pretty good, a pretty good quip to me. You know what I mean? So I'll have that in my mind. You know what I mean? And I just learned like when I see my dad getting in confrontations, he be like ready. I don't know where he get like in his bank, he already knows what he's gonna say. And it'd be like real good ones too, and good zingers too.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
damn.
like my mom. She's very quick wit, and she'll just like somebody says something crazy, she'll just be like whoop whoop.
Yeah. And I'm like, so I was like, man, I'm always gonna be that way because I hate coming home saying, damn, I should have said that.
But you're
And
never. But like, yeah, I don't know. I
even
don't know.
anything, like
I'm
I
not
just
gonna
don't want
tell
that moment.
people.
And it's even better. I just want that moment. And it's even better that I don't know him because I can talk shit and not see him again. Right? It'll be different if I work with this guy. I gotta see this guy like 5 days a week. No, I don't. I know I will never see this person again. No, fuck you, you bitch. Bye. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna let you get away with like any racial epithets or you saying like, work hard or your mother should have never had you or this, that, like I just can't let that go. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like that's a lot of wasted energy. But we are two different people, and you that's how you do it. That's everybody does it differently.
Because
But
people like that will keep doing it if they don't get spanked, whether it's verbal or physical. And I feel like some people just need to be spanked, and so they
but that's not.
understand that,
But that's so much.
so they can understand that that's not right. Because if you don't do it, and nobody else does it, they're going to keep on doing it, and that's not right. Especially when they're saying something negative, that's not
Okay.
right.
Okay. Well, friendships, I can see where that comes into play. Because if you do want to have a relationship with somebody, then you can't allow them to keep being crazy and say you like them or whatever. You don't want them to keep being crazy, so you have to address it. You have to talk about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
You have to stand up for yourself. with
100%.
friends, but with strangers, what? What did you say to me? Oh, you crazy, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. People,
I
but
gotta
I
let
see,
you know that's not right. Even when
I
I
mean,
not
you
see
could
you
tell them
again,
that it's not
I'll
right.
plant that seed. That's it, and it'll make me feel
Right.
good too. Because
No,
I'm like,
that's
I
fine.
let that person know that that's not cool. That's all I need. That's all I
Right.
need. It's
Okay,
a teaching
that's fine.
moment for me. That's it.
Right.
We ain't
No,
got to scrap or nothing.
yeah,
I'm
okay.
not
As
gonna
long
let
as you
you. I'm
don't
gonna
go
let you
there,
go.
I'm just like, dude, that's
Unless
crazy.
they take it there, they're gonna take it there. I'm gonna protect myself, like you just said earlier. I'm gonna
Right.
protect myself. But if you're gonna come off weird and aggressive and mean or disrespectful, I'm gonna do the same thing right back to you. I'm not gonna let you get away with that. Nah.
But get away with what? Like that's
Disrespecting
ego.
me or who I'm with or the people or my black people or my Asian people, I'm not gonna let you get away with that. I'm gonna let you know that that's not right. Even if you don't learn, even if you keep doing it, as long as I say something, I'm cool. I just want to let you know that what you're saying or what you're doing is not right. Somebody has to put their foot down somewhere because this person is going to keep on doing it. And whether you verbally or smack them or physically, they need to know that that's not right. That's not cool. Done. Even if
Right.
you keep on doing it in my face.
Whatever, but that
Cool.
energy, yeah, but that energy that you're giving to them, if they're that type of person, whether, called you a racial epithet or whatever, they're not going to change. You're not going to change
I don't
them.
know that, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like for me, this is what I believe in, Stacey. I believe that if I do something like that and I plant the seed, I feel like they might not change. I might not even see them. I'll probably never see them ever again. But to me, I planted that seed. Okay, cool. But to me, I planted that seed. And if they do change, maybe that was because of me and then other people who did the same thing, or maybe just me.
Right.
But that's what I believe. And
right.
I need to say something to let them know that what they're doing is just not acceptable.
Well, it sounds like that's just what makes you feel good. And that makes you feel like you're doing something that could possibly change them.
Yeah. So, just like praying. People pray because it makes them feel good. I do the same thing without believing in the Lord.
Right. But yeah, so but I don't know that those guys like a Trump supporter,
guys.
like a Trump supporter, a Trump supporter.
Mm-hmm.
You really think you're gonna change a QAnon, a conspiracy theorist, or a racist?
A racist.
You really think you're gonna change those kind of people?
Me personally, no, but I know that.
Okay, so then why waste energy? That's all I'm saying.
Because I think it's energy worth wasting. It's not. I don't think it's okay. I think it's energy worth giving. I don't think it's wasting. I think as long as whatever I do is with good intention, that's not wasting energy. It doesn't take anything for me to come.
But that's negative, though.
No, it's
not.
Like
I feel like it's a negative. But I mean, I guess that's confrontational.
Yeah.
And it's negative, though. But possibly. I mean, not all confrontation is bad.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from.
Sometimes a negative thing can be also an educational thing. You know what I'm saying? If you're saying some racial stuff and I come and I say, well, you know what? I'm black too, and I don't do that. Why'd you say that? Why would you ever, and we go back and forth, and it gets aggressive, but it doesn't escalate to violence. That person, I told that person hopefully some facts and maybe some good points. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to be negative, and yeah, sure, I might try to change your mind because we're having a debate, and that's what a debate is, right? You try to change the other person's mind, you try to win. He might not accept that he's losing, or vice versa, but where's the waste of energy? We're exchanging ideas at it right now.
But I mean, a discussion, an exchange of ideas is different than like a heated argument about.
But that's the same thing.
That's gonna go nowhere.
We don't know that though. We don't know that. How do you know?
But you're never gonna see them again, so you won't know. That's all I'm saying. Like, you're not gonna ever fucking know. Like, you don't know if that seed is gonna be watered and planted or whatever. Like, it's no.
But that's what I believe.
Right. Yeah, and that's fine. that's how you want to do it.
Yeah.
But like
The way you feel
but
right
like,
now is how I feel about people believing in Jesus. Keep going.
but like, but yeah, but that's not even the same.
It is the same to me.
No, it's not. It's
You
not.
believe that when you die, you're going to see Jesus, right? You're going to see the Lord, right? You're going to go to heaven. I believe that if I have a debate with somebody, that's going to affect that person. He or she's not going to forget it. If they change, they change. If they don't, they don't. I believe in karma. I believe in if I say something, it might not change them, but it's going to affect them. I don't believe we waste any energy, whether it's negative or positive. As long as my statement is there and clear and you understand it, I didn't waste energy. That's what I believe. And I might not see it. I might not see any change. He don't have a YouTube channel. I don't know his YouTube channel. I don't know his IG. I got in an argument with a stranger.
Right.
That's
And that
it.
right there just sounds crazy to me. But that's you. That's you. That's what you want to do. But like, I'm thinking with friends
With friends, it's different.
that know that have never, like, say they are reoccurring offenders of the same situation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's been like 20 something years.
Oh, good God.
And you've planted hella seeds.
What's
They've never changed. But they've never changed.
What's
So you have
the crime?
You have to cut them off.
What's the crime?
Just, I would say disrespect, not supportive, not a real friend, just not like, there's just too many signs over the years that led me to believe, or leads me to believe, that they weren't friends.
I wouldn't have wasted 20 years. It would have been the first year. If I see for the first year, because I've met new people who were friends with other people in my circle, and I was just like, that guy's not a cool guy. That's the guy who I'm not going to invite to the bar and have a conversation with, because I know he's a backstabber. He's not going to listen. He's selfish.
Well, yeah, but when you know somebody since third grade, it's a little different, because you've grown with them, and you didn't. And when you're in third grade, you don't know what is wrong. I mean, you know what's wrong and right, but you don't really know how a friend should treat you.
Exactly. I don't know why you're adding a third grade in there, because you don't know what real friends are until you get older.
Right. But that's what I'm saying with a situation that I'm in. We were friends since third grade. And however old we are now. Wait, well, how old are 8? From 8 to 40?
Okay.
What's that? That's 32 years? 32 years. Damn. Fuck.
God damn. That's pretty good, huh?
I had to cut that shit off. Had to.
Okay, but you got to think too that you knew some before that this person was still salty, but you still chose to have that person in your life. You just chose now to let this person go.
Yeah, and at this point, I don't know if it's like trauma bonding, or if it's like, or
better
if it
late
was
than never.
Yeah, right? Or it was the time of friendship that kept me there. But like, just recently, like, now that we're older and you're still the same way, even when you act like you're not that way, like, what am I gonna do? Keep it, like, that seed is dead. There's no more watering that seed. Like, I'm done with it. Like, it's a waste of time. People don't change. Like, certain people, certain relationships, if people are still the same way that they were in high school, you got to let them go. Like,
well, look what you did though. You planted the seed, but you didn't enforce it with water. You kept being that person's friend. If you would have planted the seed at 30 years old and then stopped being their friend, who knows what would have happened? They would have been like, man, I miss Stacy. Maybe I should change my ways, because she told me about myself. She planted that seed at 30 and said, dang, and then bounced on me. Maybe I should really reflect on my life. But you stayed and kept planting the seed and never watered it.
Well, yeah, because I think I was kind of naive and didn't realize what exactly was happening. Like, I didn't realize they weren't really. I always just, yeah, like, I thought they were my friend. But then, like, we actually just started talking again.
Oh, here we go.
No, No, but we hadn't talked for 3 years because there was a situation and it was like, I'm done.
Yep.
But now this year, it's like, I'm done again. Like, you keep violating, you keep doing the same. Like, it's getting worse. Like, the longer that I keep you around, it's like,
Yep.
it's worse. So I think, like, in those kind of situations, no matter how long the time it has been, like, you have to let people go.
Yeah. I knew somebody from high school and I thought they were going to be cool. I tried to help them out and cultivate their career or whatever, and work with them. And this person kept being the same person I knew in high school, in college. And I'm like, man, I'm cool, man. And I gotta let them go. Gotta let
Yeah.
them go. I can't have
Yeah.
that toxic energy around me when I'm already going through my own bullshit mentally, in my
Right.
mental health, in my situation. It's just like
Exactly.
I can't deal with your bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, and your bullshit is still the same bullshit that's been there. So it's like, I can't. Like, it's like I've given you literally like 18 chances
Yeah, that's too much.
and you still don't respect me, or you're
Mm-hmm.
not really a friend. So it's like, why I can't. I think that's a good way. Like, in those situations, can't be resolved, you know?
Well,
Um,
you're not planting the seed and watering it.
let's
You
throw that away because I don't know. I don't get that. I don't get the analogy.
you don't get the analogy, planting a seed.
No, I mean, not in this situation. Like, they're
You
dude,
kept telling that. You kept telling
32
that.
years. Like, and
You
we
kept.
weren't just like little like friends. Like, I'm talking about, I know your family, you know my family, all of it.
I know,
Like,
but did you tell that person what they were doing? What was wrong?
not until maybe 6 years ago.
Okay, so that's on you for
Yeah,
not
but
telling
I
them
mean,
about
but you
that
don't know.
themselves.
Yeah,
You didn't know.
exactly. I mean, I was never, when I was younger, I wasn't a confrontational person. I didn't speak up for myself. I didn't. I didn't know
So
how.
before that 6 years, you let that person. How did you know that what they were doing was negative? Just because of how they made you feel when they said shit,
Yeah, yeah,
and you let it go before that. We're just like, oh, that's she's just like that.
right. And that's my
Okay,
friend,
and that's my friend.
basically.
And you thought they were doing that, saying stuff like that out of the kindness of their heart.
No, they were. It was not the kindness of their heart. It was just a lot of the situations were kind of like, damn, like, why would you say that? Why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
And catch you off guard. And then after the situation, then they're like all buddy buddy all in
Yeah,
your
because they're
face.
reinforce it with like
Yeah,
friendliness and
right.
yeah, yeah,
Like almost like some real like
manipulative snake
I don't
shit.
yeah, like manipulate yeah, exactly. But they have their own traumas, so I don't think
Mm-hmm.
they even know what they're doing. But little old me, I'm always there. I'm always there for that person. And I don't
But
know.
your
I
seed was planted 6 years ago, and then you reinforced it with not talking to them. So that's you watering the seed. That's the analogy.
mm,
That's what I'm saying.
mm. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know. So that's one situation that cannot be resolved with conflict. What was my other thing I was gonna bring up? I don't know, man. Relationships are tough. Relationships are really tough. Oh,
People
what
make
do
them
you,
tough.
yeah, but I
They just have
mean,
to
we're
be.
all learning. I think that's the biggest thing. Like,
Well, we hope so. Sometimes people don't learn. They're so used to how they are, or or the trauma, they're used to it. They embrace it, and they never learn from it, and they keep doing the same shit. And if you're growing and that your relationships aren't growing, then what are we doing?
right,
What are you in my life for? You're not adding any value to it.
exactly. And that's the thing. It's like if people don't add value to your life, that's another reason a conflict cannot be resolved. Um, but what I do want to say is, oh, have you ever like, well, in that situation,
Mhm.
I basically like the way you ended, like, how do you end a relationship? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you
Or
end that?
a friendship or a
Just
intimate
a,
relationship.
a personal, either personal friendship, not just with a stranger at all, but like
What is
somebody
it?
you cared about.
Mm-hmm.
Is it wrong to ghost and block them?
Yes.
Oh,
Without
why?
telling them the reason why.
No, they know
Oh,
why. I mean,
do they?
there was a situation.
If you do that without telling somebody, then why you're blocking them or why you're going to do that, then I think that's wrong.
But why do you have to give people another opportunity to like lie or manipulate you?
That's on you giving them an opportunity. This I feel like it looks like I'm digging my nose. It's on that's on you. Like you have to tell them, put your foot down and tell them, hey, this is what's going to happen because of what you did to me. I don't appreciate it. I can't do this anymore. Don't call me. Don't no communication at all. Bye.
Yeah, I
That's
did
it.
that
There's
before.
no. Well, let me speak my case. This ain't a court. This is how you make me feel. I've told you this 1,000 times, or I thought you can work it out, but I can see that you can't. You're not making any effort. I ain't got time to hear. I ain't got time to watch you make effort. I'm out.
Yeah.
Phone slam. Ding.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you worried about them saying something and hold on to a relationship, that's on you. That's what I'm saying. You the gullible one. They got nothing to do with them. They got good game. If it worked, you gotta shut that shit down. You gotta do what's best for you in a relationship or a friendship or whatever kind of hardship. What you have to really put your foot down. You got to be really selfish because you got to work. You are number one. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
But I hear you. I hear you. I definitely believe that you have to, have self-love
Put yourself
and
first.
and value yourself. But when you're in a relationship, I mean, you don't want to put yourself first if you're in a reciprocating
Now,
relationship.
if this person is hurting you and disrespecting you, that's you put yourself first. Because if you get
Oh
this
yeah,
person,
yeah.
if you guys
Absolutely.
already talked about it,
Yeah.
friendship or relationship, you guys talked about it, and you said, "Yo, I don't like you doing this. You did this, blah blah. This, what you did, they hurt me." If they don't improve or say sorry or say what, and kind of not, kind of brush it off, whatever, that's not cool.
Yeah.
You don't want to be around a person who's not going to work at the ship.
Right.
The ship
Exactly.
takes two people for it to keep going on in the water.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? If you,
Yeah.
I'll need all hands on deck. If you, this is how the ship runs. They
Yeah.
don't. I can't run the ship by myself, or I'm
Yeah.
just docking on the bay.
Yeah. And I think people know when relationships aren't real friendships. Like you definitely have to let it go. Like you feel it, you know it. There's no work to be done. There shouldn't be confusion in relationships or any
Absolutely,
ships. You know what I mean? Like
that's 100%.
that's just kind of where I'm at, like at this age. Like you kind of I definitely see things in a different way, but um I don't know.
What do you mean?
It's just
What do
a
you
waste of
see?
time. It's just a waste of time, like
To what?
to continue unnecessary relationships that have no
Oh yeah, of
benefit.
course.
Yeah, like there's no, I don't know.
I mean, those people who hang on to that are probably used to that toxicity or worried about losing the other person because they think they won't be able to find somebody else, or even friendships too. Like maybe that friend benefited them in some way, whether it's material or mental or whatever, and you're just used to this bad behavior, but that's not cool for your sanity and your mental health. And nobody should have toxicity in their lives. But
Yeah,
some people do. Some people like that shit. I think it's a
yeah,
phase. I hope it's a phase.
yeah,
But some people are used to that, and they probably need therapy.
right. I don't think I liked the toxicity. I think it's just that I didn't realize how terrible they are, to be honest. Like, I don't know. People will say one thing and do something else. And it doesn't matter how long you know somebody. If
It
they
doesn't.
aren't if they're not your friend, then
They're not your friend.
they're just not, no matter what they say. They need to step their bars up and know how to be a real friend.
I
But
mean, just like any ship, it's like a two-way street, right? Like I give, you give, I take, you take. You know what I mean? Not that it should be 50-50. That's regardless. It's just whatever you could do for each other at your fullest extent to your fullest capabilities. That's all that should matter. If it's just a one-way street or the other streets all cracked up and fucked up that I can't drive on, then it's not gonna work.
yeah. And yeah, and then I'm all thinking like, well, all these, situations can be resolved if everybody's mature and blah blah blah. But I don't know. Maybe just listening to what you're saying, like ghosting and blocking isn't very mature. But I really don't want them to contact me ever again.
But you've told this person about themselves, right?
Countless times.
Okay, then. So, I mean, you doing that now, it should probably
Like we had friction. We didn't talk for 3 years. We started talking again, and then like immediately there was already some bullshit.
But who made the first move after the 3 years? You or her?
Me.
That's on you then. You know better. Would you
Well,
thought they
no.
changed in 3 years?
Well, I think I
Mm,
don't know. Because we have a lot of mutual friends, and so people
okay.
were like, "Oh, you guys should know. You guys should be friends." Da, 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 da. And then
And then
like
look what happened.
oh, exactly. And then when I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. But before, when we got into it, I didn't really give them any reason as to why I like cut them off. So that was kind of wrong. So that's why I felt like I needed to call. I needed to apologize or whatever for ghosting or blocking. But I did the right thing. And that's the thing that I'm finding. Like the people that I cut off initially, I need to like stand in that and not give chances. Like that's my like flaw for sure. I keep giving people chances. And I gotta stop doing that.
I think that's a human thing to do. And, we live and learn, right?
Yeah.
You got to live and learn.
Man, this show is weird. I didn't even realize all these like this wasn't even the show that I was initially thinking of.
Was it? You had
It
notes and
like,
stuff?
yeah, but I mean we covered a lot of the things, but it was like, dang, like it hit me over the head early and I don't know, just
What did
kind of huh?
realizations?
Or just yeah, like I don't know, just where this was all going, I guess.
I mean, it's
I,
hard, right? Because we all want friends. We all want like a network. We whether they're friends or acquaintances, we all want somebody to talk to. But if that person isn't, is if it's just a one-way street, or they're toxic, or they're negative all the time, like who can be around that? Who wants to be around that? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I know people who are like, they only want to like meet up with you so they can talk about their problems. But once you start talking about yours, they're like, okay, I think it's time to go. Like
Oh
that's
my
not a
God.
friendship. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's not.
saying? There's
And I
people.
think that's yeah, sorry.
I say I mean, a tornado is a tornado. Whether it's a tornado 2 years from now or 5 years from now, a tornado is going to be a tornado. It's going to
Yeah.
destroy things.
And
It
that's I
doesn't
think that's
change.
yeah, and I think that's the sad part about all this is that I'm learning that a lot of these people that I've invested time into aren't really friends. Like and everybody at the end of the year is like, oh, you hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm gonna cut this person off, I'm cutting that person off. All these people, they won't be going into the new year with me. And and it's a real thing. Like, people get so tired of situations, and a lot of it comes down to us allowing it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is, finally, realizing, like, dang, these people are really not homies at all. They're not.
I
I
think
don't
when you meet new people, you got to give them, with those people, even maybe relationships, you got to put them through a personal test. And if they pass the test, then obviously,
Yeah, but
they can hang with you, but don't give them too much of them, of yourself to them, and
yeah.
just let them keep proving themselves. I mean, I met somebody at work who I would kill for this dude. You know what I'm saying? And I just met him. We're 3 years in, or 2 or 3 years in, and there's other people that I've known for decades who I wouldn't give $10 to. You know what I mean? Because they've proven themselves to me that they suck.
Yeah. And my experience is, like, people change. Like, that's the hard part. It's like, it's all good, and until it wasn't.
It was
Like,
all good a week ago.
right. Like, people really straight up flip mode. People, just a couples. It may sound like I go through heck of stuff all the time, but there's only like 5 major conflicts I've been in my life with people. And that's why, because I don't really let a lot of people close to me, but the people that I have let close to me have all, like, hurt me in major ways, or like betrayed me. Seriously.
But that's not on you. That's on them.
Yeah,
You
but
did
no, but
everything
it
right.
is on me. But it is on me because I was naive. I was gullible. I was, like, happy-go-lucky. I allowed a lot of stuff.
Okay, so I thought you were talking about, like, now that you're mature and older and wiser,
Right.
you won't let that happen. We don't worry about what we did back
Hey,
in the
this stuff
day.
just happened this last year.
I know, but we don't. Yeah, but we don't let that stuff happen. We don't care about what they did in the past when everybody was young. I mean, you kind of get a pass for those behaviors when you're older
Right.
and you're more
Yeah.
mature. You got kids, you got a career, you got a house, you got a mortgage to
Nobody
pay
got
for.
time for all that.
Nobody got time for all that BS. If you steal the same way,
right,
and disrespectful and not cool, then deuces.
exactly.
Like, we can't roll
Nobody,
like that anymore.
yeah.
People
And
change,
then,
you change. You know what I'm saying? So people change, but if they're not and they're still toxic, you can't have that in your life. You shouldn't. Nobody should have that in their life.
And, like, I finally feel, like, fine with that, like, with cutting people off nowadays. Like, it's just like, you weren't my friend, and you're not a friend. You're a user. You take advantage, or you betrayed me, or you was talking mess about me that wasn't even real. That's all. That's one other situation.
Yeah, then
So
that makes no sense. I mean, I had
yeah,
somebody who I
like, it's
actually
weird.
yeah, I actually had a dude who did stuff to me like that, and would, like, I would date somebody and he would talk shit to me to the girl, thinking like the woman, like the chick ain't gonna tell me what he said, and I'm thinking, like, oh, that's what that's what your niggas do. They're gonna do that. They're gonna hate on you, whatever, to chicks, because chicks don't really matter. But in hindsight, it's disrespectful. I mean, you're probably trying to fuck, and I'm like, I'm already. Why you gonna fuck somebody I'm fucking? That's gross. I mean, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Why you want my leftovers? I'm still eating that anyway.
Yeah.
So, and then that person, became more toxic and more weird, and it's like, I need a break. I need that out of my life. I can't have that. So it's a growing process. I mean, we want people in our lives and stuff who are cool and everything, but when they're not, you have to make that decision. Are you going to keep them in your circle, or are you going to let them go and
they gotta go.
Keep going?
Yeah, they gotta go, because they're not gonna. I don't know. I just don't see a lot of people changing. And before I cut people off, literally probably give them like 10 chances. And
Why?
I
Oh, you're
know.
holding on to the past. Oh, that you put in time. Like, oh, I've been friends with this person for 5,
Well,
10, 15 years. Like that don't mean shit.
it doesn't. It really doesn't. And, I always, before, because my faith, like, I believe in forgiving people. But now that I understand what forgiveness is, um, you could forgive, you forget, but you got to create boundaries. Like, that's what I'm learning, especially with family. Like, if you have issues with family, you can't just cut off family. So, you gotta put in boundaries that make sense for you, that don't mess with your mental. So,
Might have to talk to a psychologist.
huh?
You might need some therapy.
Yeah, probably so. Like, like I said, I've
I
never
think
had
we
a
all need
therapist.
therapy. I think we all do. Just to I think we I think we all need somebody who we can talk to who we don't know, because I feel like with the experience I've had, I think people talk more, will feel more, I know it's weird, but more comfortable talking to a stranger, especially somebody who has been uh educated on this kind of behavior, and knows the fancy words and psychology words to describe how you're feeling, and can dissect what you're going through, because this therapist or this doctor has been through numerous other people who are going through probably the same things,
Yeah, like we're
and
all
you'll feel more free to talk your shit.
yeah, like we're all human and we go through trauma and we need healing. And however healing comes, like therapy, I'm not against it. I definitely need somebody to tell me where I've messed up. Well, actually, I know a lot of places where I messed up because I self-reflect a lot. I do the work. I look at where I'm weak and you know what I've done to people. Because I really, as a person, I try to think how my actions will affect others. And I don't think a lot of people live that way.
Yeah, I didn't live that way for 20 years, and I self-reflected, and I'm like, damn, like I did some stupid shit to people who didn't deserve it. It was just my ego, because it made me feel good, because I wanted to feel power, because because I'm short. I wanted to feel some kind of status, some kind of stature. So me treating people in a certain manner made me feel like 10 feet tall, like I had power, you know, but it was more of a power to be a dick, because it was so easy. And but it wasn't good for my soul.
Yeah. And that's why I just say, like, protect your energy. Like, don't give these people unnecessary energy because that's at the end of the day, it's going to affect you and your like mental and your soul and your karma, whatever you want to, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't know. But yeah, like
Hmm.
there's a couple, I know I always say, but there's a lot of, like you were just saying about having somebody to talk to and just let your stuff out or whatever with the
Who's
therapist.
not gonna judge you because they don't know you.
Yeah,
So
like
you
I
can
think that
talk
would,
whatever you want, and they'll
yeah,
and they'll just dissect what you said.
yeah, because that would be really dope. Because I there's people that I've told things to that I thought were friends, and they went and told
Oh
the other
Lord.
people. Yes, and then it's just like, dang, are you kidding me? I thought we were friends, but that's just I've come across some straight up devils this year, and but
You mean last year?
yeah, 2021.
Still early.
Some crazy, just it's, but I think it's a lot of hurt people. There's a lot of
Yeah,
hurt
hurt
people.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't.
I
People
was a
are
hurt
out
person.
here. Yeah, 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 trying to survive and just living and floating and doing whatever. And
Some people, that's all they know. That all they know is to be one way and toxic, and not think about your feelings, whether you guys are friends or not, just because you guys went to 5 concerts together. they still act a certain way because that's all they know. Nobody's spanking them. Nobody's telling them like, yo, this is wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're everybody's on survival mode.
Right. And that's where I'm at now with everything. Like, I'm not going to just allow things. I'm not going to be strong and just endure and just take it. Like, I'm telling people.
You're gonna be strong and say, yo, I'm out.
Yeah, but
You out.
and then that's the thing. It's like every time I stand up for myself, and I'm not a loud person. I'm not an argumentative person. I'm not a confrontational person. But every time I stand up for myself, and I'm not just like, yeah, man, it just people go crazy when you tell them no, or if you tell them about themselves. Like, people don't want to hear the truth, because
What's
that's
your
one thing.
problem?
Yeah, and that's one thing about me. It's like, I will tell you exactly how it is, and then that's when, like, I have problems with people. Like, I don't have problems with people until I say something, and it's like, damn. It's like, I don't want to have to go through this all the time, but I think that's just how life, you have, like you said, like, in my way of standing up for myself is like how I spank people. Because, like, people aren't gonna, I don't know. I don't even know, like, if they're gonna change or grow or
That's
whatever.
not your
But
problem.
yeah, but at this point, like, so I see what you were saying earlier. Like, yeah, like, I gotta tell people now, because they're never gonna get it, and they're just gonna be out here willy-dilly floating around and never get corrected. Like, people need correction, but I feel like people should be corrected in love, like in a loving way. But
Some people don't deserve it.
yeah, but see, that's where I feel like the karma, or the bad juju, and the negative vibes and the low vibrations comes in. And I really try to master peace. And so I just don't like to give people that kind of energy from me, for myself, for my health, for my being. But I do have to tell people what's up at this point in life, because these people are crazy. People are out here crazy.
Yeah,
People
it's
out here
all over a
crazy.
Citizen app.
Oh, that too. My cousin was telling me about that app, and she's like, man, that'll make you not want to walk down the
That
street.
made you not want to go outside at all, man.
For real. So I don't know. I just pray for the world. I just want to change the world in some way, somehow, to just, I don't know. This is too much, man. It's too much. And I feel like a lot of people are feeling this way right now.
I don't know
That,
about changing the world, but
I mean, not the world, but maybe just my community, or just put my I don't know. I just want to put another perspective out in the world, to look at things differently, to have a different perspective, to try to resolve things
yeah, it
in
should be. It
in
should
a
always be
peaceful,
peace.
loving way.
It should always be peace and love until you get out of pocket.
Yeah.
Then it's time to pull my hand out of my pocket.
Stop it. Yeah, but no, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Whether
I
it's
hear
verbal or violent, more likely to be verbal. People need to know about themselves. And I only say that because somebody told me about myself, and I didn't know about what I was doing until they told me that. That's why I say that. I didn't know what I was doing until they said something, and I'm like, and still then I was like, whatever, dude, it's my world. I can do whatever I want, blah, blah, blah. I do what I want. I'm like, Eric Cartman in here. And not until years later, I really saw the result of my actions, to where I was like, that dude was right. That chick was right. Like, that's not cool. What I'm doing, what I'm saying, it's not cool, and I changed. But that's on me. But it took 2-3 people to plant the seed.
So it works. Oh,
yeah,
okay. So that's your,
me.
Okay. So I see why you're so adamant about your perspective of telling people how they are, because a lot of people don't know how they are and they need to know.
Mhm.
And
And this
that's
is
what
one
happens.
person.
That's what happened to you.
Hmm.
People told you.
Hmm.
So,
And there's like
okay.
one,
I see you. I
two,
see you.
3 family member, friend, real friend,
Mm,
person I don't know. Damn, what am I doing wrong? You know, I need to change my ways. I need to change my outlook. I need to change my vibe. I need to change my demeanor, my candor. I need to, I need to grow up. You know,
yeah, that maturity.
30
Yep.
years, I'm 30, I'm 35 years old. Like, I need to grow up. Like, this ain't living.
Right. But like I said, like we were talking the other day, like I feel like when you hit that 40 mark, you do have a better, I don't know what it is, you do have a better perspective or perception of how to deal with people and to deal with yourself.
Yeah. And
It's
navigate
a
life.
real awakening. It's a huge awakening.
It hit
Like,
me at 34, man. And I was like, man, I need to navigate my life better.
yeah.
I need to
It's
make
like
that change.
it's like I know my value, I know my worth. I'm not gonna allow,
I know what I'm capable of.
yeah, I'm not gonna allow you to bring my life down
Yeah.
anymore.
I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I know
Yeah,
what I want. I
exactly.
know what I don't want. This is how we chill to 93 till.
Hey, there we go. There we go. Well, if you guys made it through this show, it was quite turbulent. It was turbulent, but I feel good. I feel like you know, it was definitely an extreme perspective on both sides of how to deal with conflicts and
People,
yeah, but we'll have to definitely
friends,
yeah, we'll have to come back to this topic and revisit it for sure, because conflict resolution and how to deal with people is going to be ongoing, and how to deal with ourselves and how we deal with others. It's an ongoing conversation for sure. So thanks for listening. Peace.